another day, another thrift trip, and here we are at a new store to me in Los Angeles. This store opened and it had this crazy long line outside, and on their website it said that it was a senior day, but when I got there it just didn't feel right. So I was kind of frantic walking in. On the board it said that one of the colors was on sale, but I just felt like something was a little off. So I'm kind of just getting a feel of the pricing and the brands at the moment, and I will show you later in the video what I left behind and what I decided to buy. I made my way over to the jacket area, and there was this vest that looked like decent quality. It was hard to see the label on the inside, but I finally identified it as an Athleta vest. It seemed to be in pretty good condition, and they only had it marked for just under $5. So at full price, I thought because it's going into the right season, it's kind of a nice pop. Athleta, I leave behind about 50% of the time. It just depends on how it's priced and kind of what the item is, but I thought I would put that in my basket to decide later. Here's a St. John's Sport. They've got it marked at $30. I like St. John's sometimes, but I don't do very well with the sport line. I didn't want to make any decisions right away, so I just put it in my basket for later, but I did end up leaving that behind. All right, shout out to Natalia. She is someone I walked up to and interrupted her shopping experience to ask her what was going on, why were there so many people, and what was on sale. And she let me know that everything in the store this day was 50% off except the color red. So it actually helped me out a lot, and I really appreciated her helping me out. I passed on that Rag & Bone. They had some puckering. I passed on those Miss Me because I just don't like picking up that brand. It's just not my favorite. Here's some frame. It didn't look like they were in bad condition. They looked like they were high rise, but I didn't want to decide, so I just threw those in my basket. Here's a pair of Madewell jeans that I do pick up Madewell occasionally, but these are just kind of a low rise, not really a current style, and just not worth it for me. So. All right, here I am in shoes, and I couldn't really read this brand, and one of the hard things about filming and thrifting is that it's hard to look things up at the same time. So they were sandals. I just decided to pass on them and not worry. They were also a red color, which wasn't on sale. In the shoes for me, I'm mostly looking for kind of in season because I don't have that much storage space for shoes. And so I was really just looking to see if there were any boots or any clogs, which I did end up finding these, which are Uggs. I pass on most Uggs just because there are a lot of fakes and it's just not really a style I enjoy, but the clogs are in this season. However, because there were just quite a bit of signs of wear on the wood and they were still going to be $15, I decided to pass on those. So here's a pair of Donald Pliner. The style is definitely not in, and even though they were on sale, they still were marked pretty high. They would be about $10 and just wasn't worth it for me. This is a pair of Prada, which is always a nice sight to see. These are marked red, meaning they are not on sale, and they were marked at $30. I don't mind paying up for certain things, but this had Sharpie on the bottom. I just didn't really care for the style, so I left those behind. I went back over to clothing, and here's a little Free People top. This, while it's a cute print and a cute style, even at 50% off at $5.50 or whatever it would have been, I didn't really think it was worth it. So I left that behind. So I just wanted to get a little shot to show you how big the store was and also just how many people were starting to pile in. I try to focus on the brands and not stress out by how many people are in thrift stores at times, but it can get overwhelming for sure. This is a Lululemon top, and they had it marked at $30. So even at 50% off, it would not be worth it for me to pick up to resell. So I wanted to show you a few of the things I was going to leave behind. Here's a jacket by Vince. I believe they had it marked at about $20, so at 50% off, it would have been $10. I like the style, it's in season, and I do pick up Vince occasionally if the price is right and if it's in season, but I didn't think it was worth it based off of the pilling. This is an Anthropologie top by the brand Tiny, and I loved the bird embroidery, and it was just so kind of boho and easy to wear. Sadly, there was some pulling on some of the embroidered threads, and so even though I liked the style, I just thought it would be easier to leave it behind. All right, here's a mall brand I was really excited about, just the style. Trench coats are just really in, and this is just a classic piece. This is a J. Crew men's trench coat. I can't remember the style name, but it was on there. It's a wrinkled mess, but I thought I can steam that out, no big deal. Sadly, there were a couple spots on the front, and I definitely don't like taking those types of risks, especially if it's gonna, be more than the bins pricing. So I decided to leave that behind, but it wouldn't have been a bad price. It would have been about $6, which if it didn't have the spots, I would have grabbed, so. All right, here's a top by Jean-Paul Gaultier, and I haven't picked up this designer very many times. It felt very cheap, and I didn't know if maybe it was a collab with someone, but I just didn't like the style, and I didn't think it was great quality, so I left that behind. Here's an Eileen Fisher cardigan, and I probably would have picked it up if it were a few dollars, but then I noticed the snags on the back. It also was the color red, so it wasn't on sale, and they did have it marked up, so that definitely got left behind. All right, here's a pair of jeans by Free People, and I pass on Free People jeans about 95% of the time. I snatched these and put them in the cart because they were high rise, but at the end of the day, I just wasn't excited about them, so I left them behind. How adorable are these overalls? Sadly, they were full price, and the comps actually weren't that great. These are kids' little overalls. I loved the color, but it just wasn't worth it at the full price. If they were 50% off, I would have grabbed them for sure. This is a Torrid sweater. I really liked the color, but I probably would have only been able to get about $20, and I just decided to leave it behind. Here's a sweater by Anthropologie, the Guinevere line, and I liked the pop of pink, but I just wasn't that thrilled about it. I loved the color on this We the Free kind of thermal top. But it had a couple of small pulls on the front, and it just, We the Free, I usually can't get too much money for, so it got left behind as well. All right, another sweater, and this is by the brand Helmet, or the designer Helmut Lang. I thought it was a great layering piece and just a nice color, but unfortunately I had a couple small pulls in it as well, and so that got left behind. So here's another Free People. It's technically We the Free jeans, and the only reason I was tempted to get these was they had this kind of lace up front. They were high rise, kind of a retro flair to them, but I still left those behind. These pants just looked so ridiculously comfortable. They were kind of a chambray fabric. They were an elastic waist, and they kind of had, I believe, a raw hem. These are by Cloth & Stone, and they were not 50% off. It was the color red, so unfortunately I had to leave those behind, but if they were 50% off, I probably would have grabbed them to resell. Here are two pairs of 7 for All Mankind Dojo jeans, and this line still sells fairly well, but what I've learned is if the 7 on the back of the pocket is not very bold, like if it doesn't have the white stitching, then it won't go for as much. These were full price at $12 or $12.99. I'm struggling because I'm trying to keep out of people's way, but anyways, if they were 50% off, I would have grabbed them. If they had the white 7s on the back, I probably would have paid that much, but I ended up leaving both of them behind. Also, the other thing is with this pair, or this style of jeans. I always look at the back of the legs to see if there's any fraying. These were actually in really good condition, but I still decided to leave those behind. I don't always look at hats, but they just happened to be on top of a rack I was near, and I spotted this Coach monogram kind of bucket hat. Sadly, it was marked up and it was not 50% off, so that got left behind. I do like James purse. I don't know why I passed on it. I think it had a little bit of pilling, but I do pick up that brand occasionally. I don't know why, but I am so ready for Christmas this year. But Christmas stuff I don't typically pick up as far as clothing. Yeah, I've learned my lesson the hard way that it just doesn't sell very well for me. So here I am in another part of the store, still trying to get out of people's way, but I wanted to show you a few of the things I decided to bring along or buy to resell. This is that Athleta vest that I already pointed out. This was a size, I believe it's a size extra small, and it wasn't 50% off, but I still thought it was the right item for the season, and it was in pretty good condition. So that came along with me. So this next item actually already sold for $40 in a bundle on Poshmark to, I believe, a viewer, Everly. I hope you're enjoying this, but this was a size small. It was just a lightweight kind of utility jacket, and I just really like this brand with certain items, and so I grabbed that. Here is a top from the Anthropologie line, Diletta. I pass on this line most of the time, but for a couple dollars, I just really loved the boho vibe and the color, and so I grabbed that. This next item is a pair of leggings, and I don't find this brand very much. It was full price, and I maybe shouldn't have grabbed it, but it's Girlfriend Collective. I don't know if you can see it. It's a little dark, but January's coming. A lot of people are going to be buying workout stuff soon and to shed some of the holiday weight, so I decided to grab those as well. So I really wish this base layer by Patagonia was in my size. Sadly, it's not. Base layers don't get that much from Patagonia, but we are going into the right season, and so I decided to grab that. And while I was showing that, my new friend Natalia walked over, and so we got to chit-chat for a little bit before she checked out. She is a part-time reseller, and when I asked her about the sale, she then asked me if I made YouTube videos, and so it was great to meet her. I'll link her Instagram down below. She just is so sweet. This is a pair of overalls by Madewell, and they were full price, but I thought they were worth picking up, so I snatched those. So I love looking through hard goods, and they definitely had a lot near the back, but it was so chaotic, and it was just such a large store that I just didn't really have the energy for it this day. I would love to go back someday and check out the hard goods as well, but it was time to grab the cart. Keep in mind, the cart is actually half my stuff, half my mom's. No, she's not in my videos. None of my family is going to be on my videos. They're just not YouTube people, but she does go thrifting with me, and she was nice enough to hold the camera a couple times. So here's a little poof that I actually got for my photo area, and so that's what's on top. But it is a crazy store. I am sure I'll be back someday.